There you go. It's Boo Bob. Hey, Boo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Drea?
Good. How was the live on the other side?
Oh, it was cool. They're still going.
Oh, I know that's right. Turn up.
I think it's from 7 to 10.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then I got time to swing by there and see what's up. Okay, thank you for joining. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my platform, the Single Mother Foundation, and what my goal is and what my aim is to help single mothers worldwide get through life struggles, help them build confidence, get their self-esteem, um, all along the way with raising their kids. And you know, it ain't easy being a single mom, right?
No, it is not easy.
So, so hopefully my platform, we can share each other's stories and maybe you can help someone else out what they're going through. You never know what somebody's going through. So hopefully that's my goal, you know, is to bless somebody with their story. I've been through it. That's how I got through it. You can too. Motivate and encourage each other as women.
Correct.
And you know, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, but we met on the other side on another social media platform just by coincidence. You know, you was going through your situation, I was going through my situation, and we linked. And I'm so glad you helped me go through that situation.
Me
But
too.
yes, look at the end result. Both blessed.
Yep.
Um, but the little bit that you told me, I'm all like, okay, I consider you a friend. You know, you're very authentic.
Absolutely.
No, off some real shit. Like you didn't have to do what you did. You did not have to do that. You could have been a hating ass bitch and be like, bitch, you figure it out. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You didn't have to do that. And for you to open up and tell me and gave me the plug, that's what's up. And I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your situation because that's deep. It gets deep and it can get deep real well with your situation. But you can start off by introducing yourself.
Hello, my name is Boo Bop Baby, and I am a lovely 40 years old. And I graduated from high school, attended some college, was born in Louisiana at 3, moved to East Oakland, California, the hood. Shout out to East Oakland. And then I moved to Arizona, which I lived for 19 and a half years. And then I moved to Texas, where I now stand.
Period. That's what we do. Okay. And let's back it on that. So when you had your firstborn, was you in East Oakland or Louisiana?
That's correct. That was in East Oakland.
Okay. Okay. So tell me a little bit about that situation and not of course how you conceived. Of course you had to do what you had to do, but the struggles of having your baby at a young age. How old was you?
I was 20.
And coming from, I'm gonna let you tell your story, but coming from single mom to single mom, what would you consider the hardest part of being a single mother?
I would say the single most hardest part would be placing my son for adoption.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the hardest thing that a woman can do in her life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you know what? And you know what? Let's talk about that because adoption can't necessarily always be bad. It's good. It's good adoptions as well. You know.
There's great adoptions out there, but majority of people kind of have a not so. Maybe it's okay. So, but not so many have a great story.
Yeah, because you technically giving your baby to the state, right?
So you never say given if the child is placed. If it's taken, then you say taken. But giving, no mother would ever give her child away.
Right, right.
So, yeah. And then the other part is the state. So the agency that I went through, Drea, you can't have any CPS, any agency, any disabilities, any hiccups. It has to be a clean cut, straight baby. They're very strict on what they accept because, like other adoption agencies, they actually do it for free. The one I went to, you actually, the adoptive family has to pay. And so the adoptive
Oh.
family that I went through paid $60K, including all court fees, lawyer fees. They had to put money into his college in advance. These are the requests that I had asked. And so this agency gives the mom a voice because I got to choose the family. You stand behind a black glass and there's 2 or 3 families that come in at a time and you see which one interacts with your baby and how. And a lot of mothers don't get that option. You give them away or they're taken away and you don't see them again.
Yeah, that's the adoption process I heard of. I haven't heard of the one that you were speaking of.
Yeah, the one I'm speaking of is called An Act of Love.
Okay. So,
And they're in Utah.
ooh, okay. That's way out of that's far away from well, not that far away from California. But I was gonna say, Boobop, like, how old was your baby when you placed?
He was I was at the borderline. The line that it is 3 years old. That's the line. Okay, after 3 years old, you have to keep them. They know absolutely who you are. Before 3 and even before 2, they don't. They do, but they don't. That memory typically will go away. But he was 2.
Okay. And what was your deal breaker to say, okay, I'm gonna place my baby for adoption? What was your deal breaker?
The deal breaker was when I was homeless and I wasn't sure what to do.
Okay.
I didn't know who to call. I didn't have phone numbers. My baby daddy had taken the numbers so that I couldn't call my friends.
Oh wow.
And we were in a
It's so nice.
hotel and we had less than like 24 hours to be out. And he disappeared.
Mm,
Thin air.
yeah.
Gone. Ghost.
Left you.
Yeah. I later found out that he was on acid.
So it wasn't like a bad trip?
What do you mean?
Like when he had ghost you that time in the hotel room, or he's been on drugs the whole duration of y'all being together?
No, I've never known him to be on drugs, but we never seen him again. That's what I mean. That's the last time I saw him.
Oh. Oh my
That's
God.
why I said ghost, gone.
Girl, oh my goodness. And the fact that you didn't have no support to help you through this process.
Correct, because my mother, whom I was living with, I got pregnant. She's like, okay, you're pregnant. Didn't say anything at all. I come home, I kick it at my baby daddy's house, have the baby. The baby is now like maybe 2.5 months. I come home, the door's fucking locked. Excuse my language. Not only is the door locked, Drea, but she had completely moved out and moved to Arizona.
She figured you was grown, okay? You had a baby, okay?
And that was what she told me just recently after I'd taken therapy to forgive her for what I feel like she could have helped me. I went to therapy and got the tools I needed and learned that 50% she could help me, but 50% it was my responsibility because I laid down and had sex. But the way she did it, So, so I ended up moving in with my orthodontist. Who's a female. Yeah, I had to call someone, so I started calling numbers, and I called my orthodontist office because her and I used to talk a lot.
You know
and
what?
I asked her,
doctor's number.
I asked her would she come and get me, and she said yes.
I know that's right. Save your dentist number, save your doctor's number. Everybody that you do business with, save their number. You never know when you're going to need them.
So fast forward to how I became homeless was I lived with her, but she's like, she knew like a few celebrities or whatever. And she was like, I'm moving to LA. I didn't believe her. And then she's like, are you coming? And I'm like, no, I'm never leaving Oakland. I'm on Oakland, like a dumbass. So I didn't go with her. And she ended up actually making it in LA. So have you ever heard of the movie called Daddy Daycare?
Yeah.
The little boy that's Kamani. I lived with him. That's her son.
Oh.
Her name is Gina.
Okay.
So she moved, and I moved into a shelter, and then like I was homeless like twice. I was homeless like twice. It was insane.
Yeah. Do you regret not going with the doctor?
I don't, because the way she kind of operated, like hey, you should kind of like get with niggas so you can get what you need. And I'm more like, no,
Ah.
that's okay. Because she's really pretty.
Yeah, so she was trying to finesse, like get you to finesse these men for your lifestyle and stuff, and you wasn't feeling it.
No, I was not. No.
One thing about finessing men, either you got it or you don't. Like, you got to be real slick with that. You see what I'm saying? It's like you got to be needy. You got to not be like a gold digger, and you got to like your vocabulary has to be on point to talk to him at what you need and what you want. I don't got time for that. I don't got time for none of that. Okay. So just the whole duration of, you going through the process with your baby, mentally, where were you at mentally?
Mentally?
Yeah.
Mentally, I would say I was on autopilot because I didn't know how to raise my son because I grew up Muslim and I was sheltered, and my mama never broke it down to me. She never had the birds and the bees talk with me at all. Mm-hmm. She never talked to me about rent and welfare. We were never on welfare, so I didn't know about welfare either.
Yeah, welfare was a thing, girl.
Yeah, so it's like I went on autopilot as a mom, but mentally I was checked out.
Yeah.
Because after I placed my son for adoption, I signed the papers. I thought I was okay. And I went outside. I don't know if I went to go get fresh air because I don't remember. But I fucking fainted, Dreda. And then when I woke up, there was like 5 or 6 youngsters, all under the age of 18, around me singing. It was a choir. They had on T-shirts, and on the thing it says, "I'm adopted. My name is so-and-so." I broke down. I broke down.
Oh my goodness.
That adoption agency, like, they really take care of the mom and the adopted family.
Yeah. It's okay. Share them tears. It's okay.
And I had a birth mother counselor that I could call for 3 years. I had her for 3 years where I could call her in the middle of the night if I needed to, and any time of day she had to take my call. And so I called her so many times at midnight because I used to wake up and like go, what the fuck? Where's my baby? Like, I had to look for my son for like a week. Like, because he slept under my stomach every day since the day he was born because I nursed him up until he was 2.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that bond.
That bond was there, and that's where they said I kind of fucked up at. Because that's why I was fucked up mentally, because I tried to kill myself. Gotcha. I also passed out in the fucking airport, too. That's how I got into Job Corps. In Job Corps, I went there and got my high school diploma there, and I partied there, and I was wild there, got it out of my system. Everybody was like, dude, your son's adopted, but you're not an alien, dude. Like, loosen up. Because I used to be so tense, and if anybody ever saw my stretch marks, like, I would hide my stretch marks and stuff like that. Like, I would hide that I was a parent. Like, I wouldn't say I had a son. Because the next thing that comes after that is, well, where is he? And then you have to fucking explain that story. And at that time, I couldn't talk about Adria like I'm talking about it now. It took me 16 years to be able to be vocal about my son. And someone had to sit me down and was like, you did the best thing that you could fucking do for your son. He's alive. He's breathing. You got tabs on him. You know what he's doing. You know that he's still with the family. You know they haven't abused him. He's not dead. He's not shot. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, that's how I see it too.
But some people disagree, and I have a couple of friends that disagree with adoption in general. You know what I'm saying? I still respect them. They respect me. The ones that I have a fucking problem with is the ones that judge me and say that I'm a bad mom. Because, bitch, where were you when I needed help? Bitch, you wasn't fucking there. Do you literally think I had help and was like, let me just go adopt my son? Oh, I don't know. I don't shit to do today.
Yeah.
No mom fucking says that. Yeah. No mom says that. No good mom says that.
Correct. But it just seemed like for you to get stable, you had to do that. Like, for you to, because it's like I can't even take care of myself, let alone this child. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I just got my life together probably about 8 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. So imagine having him at a Pride or Eagle or whatever, having your baby, that bond that attaches to our kids, and just dragging them, shelter to shelter, pillow to post. That's unstable for the baby. You see what I'm saying? So you want your child to be in a stable environment so they can get raised and loved properly.
Thank you.
Not saying you wasn't loving your baby, but for your baby's future. So we thinking 10, 20 years ahead. We're not thinking about right now. We got to think about the future when it comes to our kids. Right?
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, yeah, we love our kids, but that love got to trickle down to them. And for you just was not in that position.
No.
It wasn't like, you know what I mean? You had your house, you had your car, you had your job, da-da-da. No, you was kicked out when your parents moved to Arizona. So it seemed like you got the shit in at the fucking stick. Did nobody tell you? Did nobody put you up on game? And you, in that hurt and that pain and that resentment of your family, I get it. Because mom, where was you at?
Yeah.
Mom, you left me. Mom this and mom that. And we took that pain, and that pain be bottled up inside of us for years. And then you want me to turn around and take care of this baby when mentally my mom and I are not even on a good page?
Right.
And then no support.
Well, it was just my mom. My father actually just recently got out of prison. He's only been out for about 4 years. And he went in when I was 2.
Oh, wow.
Think about that math.
Yeah. And how's y'all bond now since he's out?
Well, he walked me down the aisle.
Okay.
So I'd say on a grading scale, I'd say about a B minus.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, when I used to talk about my son, I used to cry all the fucking time. But now I just tell people like straight out my story.
I
don't mind.
That's growth. I think that's growth. You came to a point to where you are vocal about it. That's growth. You're not ashamed. You're not embarrassed. None of that. And that's the type of examples we need, because people carry that shame and that guilt in. They hold that shit in because of judgment. What somebody gonna say? Oh, I feel so bad about myself, and it's hard.
I do not share with people like on the other side, like about my son. I don't share that. I share that with like an inner circle type deal. Yeah. But this is the first time on a platform where I've ever spoke about it. This is kind of different. It's like, well, if you decide to come over here and talk, use this as ammo against me, like, oh, your son's adopted, then you a bitch anyway, because you don't have a life. But I don't directly outwardly tell people like, hey, this, hey, that. I usually keep it under wraps pretty much, because it's certain people that I will answer, and some people I tell Drea, some people I tell people, actually, I don't really want to speak to you about that. I tell them straight out like that, and they're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's understandable. I get it. I totally get it. That's your business. You know what I mean? Can't nobody sit up here and question me on how I raise my kid and the decisions I made for them. I don't care if I feed my kids right to me. That's my business.
But yeah, throwing it back to the single mother part, I would say another worst part about single mother is walking to get groceries, carrying those groceries on the bus by yourself. Another thing, not being able to share the kid back and forth to get a break. Another thing, setting up things like a stroller that a man can do. That's something that I miss having. That handyman around the house.
Yes.
Because as much as guys are assholes sometimes, not all, some, they definitely can be Mr. Fix-It.
Yes.
I would say another thing is having to fucking not be able to date because you have a baby. So you don't have your baby daddy to hook up with. No. You're not going to bring some random to your house. No. Mm-hmm. So you got to get a quickie somewhere in. Somewhere in where? Like how?
Because they can come to my house, but I can go to his house.
Yeah.
That's always been a standard for me. He got to have a house. So I can, you know what I mean? That has to be a standard. Like, you can't come over to my house. No.
Another thing is splitting the bills with that other half. Being a single mother, all the bills are on you.
That's pressure.
No one to hand them to.
That's pressure.
Not without giving up the poo nanny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pressure. That's pressure. And you just named a lot of struggles, and those are the struggles I want to help women go through. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
As far as, okay, the groceries, girl, why we ain't got a car? What can we do to get you a car? Why we rely on public transportation? You know what I mean? Girl,
Exactly.
if you ready for a man, girl, mentally, physically, because you're not dating for you, girl, you dating for your child. You need a good stepdaddy. So are you ready to even? Is your heart open? Do you forgive all your exes? Are you healed? So these are the kind of roadblocks I want to help women go through. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Hmm.
Finances, whatever it is to prevent them from going to the next level in their life. What goal do you want to accomplish, and why are we not accomplishing it? Because it's a cycle that needs to be broken. It's a
Hmm.
repetitive cycle. Like you said, that autopilot. A lot of women say that autopilot, get up, go to work, whatever, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm trying to help women be the best women that they can be while raising their kids, because you can do it. It's done. It's done. You can do that, you know?
I would say
So,
the biggest thing is to reach out and ask for help. Ask your fucking, if you feel like if you're at a stage where you're about to be homeless, man, take your ass to Safeway and ask somebody, do you know somebody that knows services or somebody that can help me and my baby, and bring your baby with you, because these motherfucking people will help you. Like, especially, I'm not trying to be prejudiced or anything, but if you get a white person, they will motherfucking help you. They will probably take you home
yeah, yeah,
themselves,
yeah,
because someone took me in. She was Mexican, but she took me in before I went
yeah.
to Job Corps. Just before I went to Job Corps. This is after my son was adopted.
Yeah, that's a good one. Asking for help. I don't know why we don't do that. I have to have it
Because
bad,
it's
girl.
embarrassing.
Yeah. I would
It's your
say,
pride.
and then too, the rejection part, you
The
know,
rejection is
yeah,
definitely number one.
yeah, I didn't want to get told no. I have a problem with that. You know, I'm coming to you for help.
Or how I'm being told no.
Mm, yeah,
Because they could tell you to fuck off.
yeah. And then, and I had to learn about the rejection, getting told no, and then people knowing my business, and learning how to work through that. Like, damn, I told you I needed $40. Why the whole fucking family know I needed $40? Type shit. Like, that was nobody's business. I thought that was between me and you. So now I know I can't ask you for nothing, because you won't go run and tell my business. Even if you did have it, I would have to pay you back. That type of shit. I don't like that messy shit. I don't like that conniving shit. If someone's asking for help, help them out. I don't care if my girlfriend has a husband, a baby daddy, a boyfriend. If she's coming to me for help, that's me in her relationship. And I'm going to help my girl. You see what I'm saying? Because that's my friend. You know?
And another thing I would say is, if you're going to adopt, because there's nothing wrong with adoption, if you're going to adopt and you feel like that's the route you need to take, don't wait until the baby is 2. You need to do it soon, from like before 1. Not even before 1, before 6 months.
Okay.
Because that separation will rip your heart
Mm.
out.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. That's pain. And that she had to work through with therapy, right?
I had to go through birth mother counseling, and I had to go through regular counseling, and I had to get a psychiatrist, and I had to get on medication.
Yes. Yes.
So I have other entities helping me stay level headed
Yeah.
and
And it's,
not.
yeah. And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm placing my baby for this service, but the background of all that pain and stuff, I don't think you thought it was gonna be that bad, did you? You didn't think,
I didn't even know to think that I was even going to feel anything,
right. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
here I am, just like, oh, this is a idea, and my mother is the one that suggested it.
Whew. Your mom?
She, yes.
Mm. And you took her advice, being obedient. Coming from somebody who left you and went to Arizona. Yeah. So, okay, let's wrap things up. How is the bond between you and your son now?
Okay, so right now, so far, so here's my thing. My son has his own life. I don't impose on his life. I don't call. I don't text. I don't do anything. I'll write every now and then just to check in on him, but he writes back. So he gives me photos and he writes me back. And right now, I'd say we have, I'm still connected.
Okay.
And he's working. He graduated from high school. He's working at a radio station. So when the commercials come on, he's the one that adds the commercials in between the music.
Does he? Good for him.
So that's his first birthday gig because I guess he doesn't want to go to college. So, and he also got busted smoking weed in a car. So his mommy, because he calls me his brown mommy, and then he calls her mommy.
Okay.
So his mommy wants to put him in counseling because she's running for mayor. So she was saying that's like a strike against her that he got busted like smoking weed in the car with his friends. So he's doing good. So I still have tabs on him. I have maybe a few months left, and then I can no longer do that because the cutoff is 21. So what I'm going to do is send him an index of everybody's phone number, cousins, neighbor, friend, in case I pass away. He still can reach out and get that story on why he was adopted, there was no reason why negatively, but I care for him. I just couldn't take care of him. I didn't know how to take care of him. That's the reason why. Didn't know how. So I'll send him all the numbers and addresses, and that's up to him. He can take it or he can trash it. I mean, he's alive. He made it to 18, and I'm good. Like, I'm good now. Because at first I was like, I don't want to ever talk about him until he's like 18. That way I know he's living, he's breathing, he's a normal teenager, things like that.
Yeah. It sounds like you're in good spirits about it, and I'm glad all the trauma that you went through in your lifetime, and for you to say those words, and you just sound like you're happy, like you have blessings all over your life and his life too, and that's good. That's real, real good, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everything.
Thank
you, Treya. Yeah, you did good. I'm very proud of you, girl. Please, because there's some people who didn't make it through. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of got to give yourself some credit for what. Give yourself some credit. You did good. You did what. Yeah. So, in closing, is there anything that you want to give any single mother who might be listening? Any advice?
I would say my advice to you is do your research, right away. Find out programs that you can get tied to as a single mother. Find out scholarships that you can get as a single mother in school. Reach out to friends if you're getting postpartum depression. Reach out to friends if you're wanting to kill your kid, if you're wanting to shake them, if you're wanting to do things like that. Reach out for help. Reach out for help is all I can say is just reach out for help, whether it's a letter, a text, a phone call, or email.
Awesome. Ask for help, ladies. You heard it from Boo Bop the Best. Thank you so much for coming on here. East Oakland in the house. I appreciate you. Stay in contact.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, girl. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.